Welcome to Ask Prep, your trusted companion for UPSC and IAS preparation. Today, we delve into a crucial and dynamic topic in ethics and society, which is role of civil society in governance. Civil society plays an indispensable role in fostering democratic governance by acting as a mediator between the state and its citizens. It ensures that governance remains inclusive, transparent, and accountable by addressing gaps in government policies and amplifying the voices of marginalized groups. For UPSC aspirants, understanding the role of civil society is vital as it aligns with key topics like participatory democracy, social justice, sustainable development, and ethics in governance. In India, civil society organizations, CSOs, have been instrumental in driving social change, advocating for policy reforms, and ensuring accountability through initiatives like RTI activism, environmental conservation movements, and campaigns for women's rights. Through this session, we'll explore the multifaceted contributions of civil society in governance, including advocacy, policy monitoring, capacity building, and service delivery. We'll also address challenges faced by civil society and the collaborative potential it holds with the government for achieving sustainable and inclusive development. So, without further delay, let's get started. Starting with introduction, civil society is an integral part of a functioning democracy and serves as a bridge between the government and citizens. It includes non-governmental organizations, NGOs, advocacy groups, professional associations, community-based organizations, and other non-state actors that work independently to address social, economic, and political issues. In governance, civil society plays a vital role by promoting transparency, accountability, and participatory democracy. It acts as a watchdog, ensuring that public officials and institutions remain answerable to the people. By advocating for policy reforms, delivering essential services, and empowering marginalized communities, civil society contributes to the realization of inclusive and sustainable development. In a country as diverse as India, civil society has been instrumental in driving grassroots change, influencing policy decisions, and addressing governance challenges. Its role is critical in safeguarding democratic values, bridging gaps in governance, and ensuring that the voices of all citizens, especially the marginalized, are heard and respected. Role of civil society in governance. Civil society refers to non-governmental organizations, NGOs, community groups, advocacy groups, professional associations, and other non-state actors that operate independently of the government. Civil society plays a vital role in governance by promoting accountability, inclusivity, and participatory democracy. Below is a sequence-wise analysis of the role of civil society in governance, advocacy and policy influence. Civil society organizations, CSOs, advocate for policy reforms by raising awareness about key societal issues such as poverty, gender inequality, environmental conservation, and human rights. They influence government decision-making by conducting research, publishing reports, and lobbying for progressive laws and policies. Example, campaigns by organizations like Amnesty International have successfully brought attention to human rights abuses globally. Promoting transparency and accountability. Civil society acts as a watchdog by monitoring government activities, exposing corruption, and ensuring the proper utilization of public funds. It encourages transparency by demanding access to public information through tools like the Right to Information Act, RTI. Example, the Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan, MKSS, played a critical role in pushing for the RTI Act in India. Enhancing public participation, CSOs engage citizens in decision-making processes, ensuring that diverse voices are heard, especially those of marginalized and underrepresented groups. They organize public consultations, workshops, and forums to gather inputs on policy matters. Example, environmental groups often hold consultations with communities affected by development projects to ensure that their concerns are addressed. Capacity building. Civil society helps in building the capacity of individuals and communities to participate in governance. It provides training, education, and resources to empower citizens to engage with the government effectively. Example, NGOs like PRIA, Participatory Research in Asia, work on capacity building programs to strengthen grassroots governance. Social service delivery. in areas where government services are inadequate or inaccessible, civil society often steps in to provide essential services such as education, healthcare, disaster relief, and skill development. Example, organizations like Akshaya Patra provide midday meals to school children, addressing both hunger and education. Bridging the gap between government and citizens, civil society serves as a link between the government and the public, facilitating communication and resolving conflicts. It mediates between conflicting parties, promotes dialogue, and ensures that grievances are heard and addressed. Example, peace-building efforts in conflict-prone regions often involve civil society actors. Promoting ethical governance, civil society organizations emphasize ethical governance by advocating for principles like inclusivity, integrity, and justice. They expose unethical practices, push for anti-corruption measures, and promote values-based leadership. Example, the Anna Hazare-led anti-corruption movement highlighted the need for a Lokpal to address corruption in governance. Strengthening democratic institutions, civil society supports democratic institutions by encouraging free and fair elections, voter education, and political participation. It observes electoral processes to ensure transparency and legitimacy. Example, organizations like Association for Democratic Reforms, ADR, analyze election data to promote informed voting. Addressing social inequalities, civil society works to reduce inequalities by advocating for the rights of marginalized groups, such as women, children, Dalits, and tribals. It highlights social injustices and promotes affirmative actions like reservations and inclusive policies. Example, movements for women's rights and LGBTQ+ inclusion have been strongly supported by civil society organizations. Fostering innovation and sustainable development, civil society promotes innovative solutions to governance challenges, especially in areas like climate change, urban planning, and renewable energy. It collaborates with governments and private sectors to implement Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Example, environmental NGOs like TERI, the Energy and Resources Institute, contribute to policy development for sustainable energy practices. Crisis management and humanitarian aid, during emergencies such as natural disasters, pandemics, or conflicts, civil society plays a critical role in relief and rehabilitation efforts. It mobilizes resources, coordinates aid distribution, and ensures timely support to affected communities. Example, NGOs like Guj played a significant role in relief efforts during the COVID-19 pandemic in India. Raising awareness, civil society educates the public about their rights, duties, and responsibilities as citizens. Awareness campaigns on issues like child labor, domestic violence, and environmental conservation have led to significant social and policy changes. Example, the Narmada Bachao Andolan raised awareness about the environmental and social impact of large dams. Challenges faced by civil society in governance, regulatory hurdles. Stringent regulations, such as the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, FCRA, often restrict funding and operational autonomy of civil society organizations, CSOs. Delayed clearances and excessive bureaucratic oversight hamper their functioning. Political pressures. CSOs working on sensitive issues like human rights and environmental protection often face political opposition or intimidation. Lack of political will to engage civil society in decision-making processes limits its potential. Resource constraints. Many organizations struggle with inadequate funding and lack of skilled human resources. Dependence on external donors often leads to financial instability. Lack of accountability. Instances of mismanagement and lack of transparency within some CSOs erode their credibility and trust among the public. Weak internal governance undermines their effectiveness. Public perception issues. Civil society is sometimes perceived as anti-government or overly critical, leading to strained relationships with the state. Misunderstanding about their role limits their influence. Fragmentation and lack of coordination. Overlapping mandates and lack of collaboration among CSOs dilute their impact. Smaller organizations often fail to scale their initiatives due to poor networking. Potentials of civil society in governance, advocacy for policy reforms. Civil society plays a crucial role in highlighting socio-economic issues and pushing for legislative and policy changes. Examples: Advocacy for RTI Act and environmental protection laws. Empowering marginalized communities. CSOs amplify the voices of underrepresented groups, ensuring inclusivity in policymaking. They provide a platform for women, minorities, and economically weaker sections to express their concerns. Promoting transparency and accountability. By using tools like social audits and RTI, civil society ensures that public resources are used efficiently. Acts as a watchdog over government actions, exposing corruption and inefficiencies. Capacity building and service delivery. CSOs often complement government efforts by filling gaps in education, healthcare, and skill development. They provide last-mile connectivity in rural and remote areas. Social mobilization and awareness. Civil society raises public awareness about critical issues like environmental conservation, gender equality, and public health. Mobilizes communities for collective action, such as during disaster relief efforts. Innovative problem solving. With their grassroots experience, CSOs bring innovative, locally tailored solutions to complex governance challenges. Example: self-help groups and microfinance initiatives. Building bridges. Civil society acts as a mediator between the government and citizens, fostering trust and cooperation. It ensures that citizen grievances are addressed in governance processes. Conclusion: while civil society in India faces several challenges, its potential to enhance governance and promote inclusive development remains unparalleled. By addressing regulatory, financial, and public perception issues, and fostering greater collaboration with the government, civil society can drive transformative changes in governance. Strengthening this partnership will pave the way for a more transparent, participatory, and accountable democratic system. At AskPrep, we aim to bring such insights to help you prepare better for your UPSC and IAS examinations. Thank you. This is AskPrep, Ask Us Anything, your guide to mastering UPSC and IAS preparation. Let's decode complex topics and simplify your journey to success.